The moment is now. Are you ready?
Let's play Armis. Okay, let's take a look at the setup that was provided. We have one marine up here, the other over here. This one is, its range is far enough to cover all of the pieces on the western side of the setup. This one, of course, since it's at the furthest point, it's able to cover everything over there on the eastern side of the setup. I want to try to get the sea vessels as close as possible to coastal waters within the setup zone. That looks decent enough. Uh, that looks better. This over here, this over here. Where is that nuke? Okay, over there. I can work with that. Let's give that a shot. Okay, one of the first things I like to do is to, even though it's the exact same setup, this side and that side, I'd like to see how it looks with the other side literally facing me. The jet is here, the helicopter is on this side, and the two marines here and here. Alright, so with the two marines on the western side, this would end up, the eastern corridor would end up being the weaker side for my opponent. With the nuke here and the diplomat here, my child and my executive going in this direction would be a good idea. Leading with the executive. As you can see, his marine is 1, 2, 3. That's the range for his marine that's closest east. So I can get this helicopter without any fear as it stands right now. Chances are he'll move. Wow, I gave him credit where perhaps I should not have. I thought he was going to move the army from here to here so that it's covered by the marine, and at the same time is able to provide coverage to the helicopter, but it didn't do that. I guess if I take his helicopter, he'll take my helicopter. With that move, I have the army covering the helicopter, and the diplomat is covered by the marine. All right, that vice president, his range only goes from 1 to 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the furthest that it can go. Let's grab something while we still can. Alright, I don't know the reason for that. Let's see, what are we going to do? Got it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, there's adequate coverage here. If he uses his president to take my army, I use my helicopter to take his president. If he brings or reinforces this area with either one of these Marines, or uses either one of the Marines to take either one of these, I'm willing to take that trade-off. Okay, the net result of that was something looks a little odd. I got his vice president. I see a helicopter over here. I got that earlier. Okay, there it goes there. One, two, three. Okay, if I put my... This is something that I don't usually do, which is to use my Marine as bait. But if I put my Marine 1, 2, 3 over here, if he takes my Marine with his Marine, then I take his Marine with my president, and then after that, both his other Marine and his army are both out of range of this diplomat, and so I'm able to take this diplomat without any fear. Even this jet is out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 or more spaces away from the jet puts that jet out of range. 1, 2, 3. This Marine 1, 2, 3 stops here. This Army 1, 2 stops in these two areas over here. Therefore, this box is only accessible. Well, I should not have said that, right? Because this box ends up being accessible to this jet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that was a bad move on my part. If I go here, 1, 2, 3, then both. Alrighty. This is the best move, because at this point I get to threaten the army as well as the diplomat. If the army comes over here to basically cover this box, I'll still take the army, because the army to me is a more agile piece than either one of the executives. And considering that I have both executives at this point, I could give up one, and meaning the vice president, because if the president goes, then it's replaced by the vice president. Wow, didn't expect that. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm trying to find out why it is that he did that. But there seems to be something in this area that the computer wants to focus in on. And I don't see it. I don't know what it wants to do. If it uses the president, it can come all the way down and take the Coast Guard. But if it did that, it's out of range of the two Marines. If it stopped here, then 1, 2, 3, both of my Marines are within range. Although my helicopter really can't do anything about it, just being there is no tremendous big deal. I don't understand why the focus in this area, but I will ride it out and see where it goes. Thinking, well, let's just go for the easy the easy one, instead of taking the Army, which would would be better in terms of a stronger piece, but being here, I get to hold on to this piece a little longer. And maybe I can take it down, bring it around, and go up in this range, up in this area. We'll see what happens. That's a lot of work just to try to get that helicopter. 1, 2, 3. That's a lot of work just to get that helicopter. Well, let's make it work a little harder then. He gets to take the diplomat, then my helicopter will take the president. And considering that it's the only executive that he has left, it's something that he should have to think twice about. If he uses his Marine to take the helicopter, then I can use my Marine to take that Marine. Okay. Now things have gotten more than just a little strange. I have to now reinforce. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too far for that. 6, 7, 8. Now he's got both of his Marines able to take out my helicopter, and I only have one Marine covering. Let's see. I only lost one of my military, so my nuke really can't do anything. The helicopter, the jet is too far out. Should I say the jet? His pieces are too far out that it can't really do anything to protect or to cover any one of my pieces. If my helicopter was here or here, then it can do something, but the helicopter has to move at least 2 spaces, so it can't go here or here, or 2 spaces in the straight line, so it can't go here or here. I would need to move my okay. I'll do something totally different. Totally different. I'm going to take the damage that happens over here, and I'm just going to go straight and try to win the game, just drilling straight through this area. If he doesn't move his army, well, even if he does move his army, unless it's coming in over here, I can, well, wow. See, now, at this point, I'll let him get that. He will more than likely come down and use this to do more damage in here, and then I'll start to bring this in. But by that time, my inroads in this direction will probably cause more damage than what he can do. Now this Marine is far off, and my president is right next to the reserve. So almost regardless of what my opponent does, well, no, if he brought his nuke over here, that would have been a better thing to do, because then he could have activated his nuke and took out whatever took out his reserve, which was in this case my president, and then have a chance, because then I would have to, this vice president would then become the president, and I would have to go here and go there. It would buy a little bit of time, but not much. And that's the end of the game. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.
The whole world see us through your eyes.